Children as young as 10 are being introduced to the world of sexting and sextortion. It comes after a school in Melbourne warned its students about possible prosecution after finding pupils distributing explicit images.
Parents are now being urged to start educating their children on the subject, and digital wellbeing specialist Joanne Orlando is here to discuss. Jo, good morning.
Good morning.
This is really distressing and disturbing for a lot of parents to hear, especially this idea of sexting reaching a younger and younger audience. What do you think is behind that?
Yeah, well, there's lots of reasons. One is that younger children are online independently a lot more now for a lot longer. So there's one thing. So they might be using children's apps or children's websites, but still there's a lot of advertising on them with sexy images. So they're seeing those kinds of images there. They're seeing it around them in their world. So doing that kind of thing becomes more of a normalised behaviour. And when they think they've been treated like a kid or something, you know, that's a way of rebellion. It doesn't cost them any money. They just need a phone or a device. They don't have to ask anyone. It's very easy to do as well.
Yeah, it seems to be everywhere online. So what are the signs that your child might be actually sexting?
So when I talk to parents and when they've kind of worked it out, one of the big things is that their child becomes a lot more secretive around their device use. It might be their phone use or whatever device they're using. So they're not really sharing or talking about what they're doing. So that's a big sign, spending a lot more time in their room or in a place in a home that's locked away.
So if you see those red flags, how do you then open up that conversation with your child without driving them further away?
Yeah, and it's a fine line. But one thing I do want to say is you're not having those conversations with your child, then who is? Probably no one. So we really need to step up as parents. I think, one, you have to inform yourself because your child will see straight through you if you don't know what you're talking about. And I think it's also good to have those kind of conversations like when you're driving in the car. It's kind of a lot less confrontational, but also show your child you've got their back. You're not judging, you've got their back. Work out a plan of action. All right, if this happens online, this is what we'll do. This is what we'll do first, then this, then this. So they know that you're going to look after them. So you're setting up a possible case scenario.
Now, this is all very contained when it comes to sexting because you can deal with other families, you can deal with children being children, right? But when it comes to sextortion, that's something that I think a lot of families are still trying to get their heads around, that their child are being extorted by somebody outside. How prevalent is this now?
That's right.
How worried should we be about it?
Sextortion is everywhere, and I'm not saying that lightly. It is everywhere. It's really spiked. It often targets teenage boys or young men.
Yeah.
I talked to someone the other day who just paid out $2,500. So what happens is someone's online, they're flirting with you, and then it gets quite sexy, you know, straight up. And what they try to do is to get you to send a photo or a video of yourself doing something sexual. Once they've received it, then the extortion part, that's why it's called sextortion, kicks in and they will start making demands. Pay me or give me more of this kind of content. Otherwise, I will send this around to all your contacts, to your family, to your friends. And, of course, young men and teenage boys, the embarrassment factor is huge. They're very susceptible. Imagine it happening to a 13 or 14-year-old boy.
So cruel.
They get so stuck.
So cruel. There's so much more to this conversation, so we'll chat to you again about it another time. We appreciate you coming in today, Joanne. Thank you so much.
Guys.